You're tuned in to the Strong Bahamian Woman podcast. Here we foster intergenerational communication, celebrate our role models, and expand opportunities for Bahamian women. We share her legacy, her story, which are our uniquely Bahamian roadmaps to self-discovery and success. Together, we're breaking mental and social barriers, enabling more Bahamian women to realize their fullest potential and take their place, because a better Bahamas awaits. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Those words, indelible in my heart, penned by Mark Twain. Whether you are here to discover that why, to expand that why, or to share with all of us how to achieve that why, welcome. If you have enjoyed our episode 1 teaser of the Strong Bahamian Woman podcast and decided to join us again, welcome back. I'm your host, Sonovia D. Williams. Thank you for giving your ear and voice to the Strong Bahamian Woman podcast, where we continue to celebrate the resilience, the determination, the achievements of Bahamian women. Now, in this teaser episode 2, we continue to observe Women's History Month. It's our time for us to reflect on the extraordinary contributions of Bahamian women throughout history and those that are making history. And we're talking about their impact that they've had on our nation and even beyond. To our incredible Bahamian women listening in, I want you to know that this episode is a platform dedicated to uplifting and honoring your strength, your courage, your tenacity. Your stories deserve to be heard, deserve to be celebrated and shared. And by sharing this podcast, by you deciding to share this podcast with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues, with your daughters, you're not only amplifying the voices of Bahamian women, but you're also inspiring others to recognize and to celebrate their own strength. So, incredible woman, be sure to share the podcast. And to our male listeners, welcome. Your presence and your support in this journey are equally important. Engaging with stories of strong Bahamian women fosters empathy and understanding and respect for our diverse experiences and the contributions of women to our society, our necessary contributions. So, as you listen, you are not only paying tribute to your mothers and your grandmothers and your teachers and your aunts, but you are helping to create a more inclusive and equitable community for us all. So thank you. In this episode, I will give an overview of what is a strong Bahamian woman, just a brief overview, and the impact that such women have. I will also recognize, our 5 Bahamian women. Of course, we are doing a total of 10, so we already introduced our first 5, and in this episode, we have 5 more Bahamian women making history or who have made history that have inspired and impacted our country. We also have the answer for episode 1 brain teaser, and we have a new challenge for you, challenging your knowledge of the Bahamas. Now, briefly about me, my name is Sonovia D. Williams. I am a media professional, a veteran. I am a film producer, radio and television host, and show creator. Anywhere from digital to stage production, I am the producer. I'm a creative. I'm an artist, a dancer, an entertainer. I've done it all, right? I'm an entrepreneur, a speaker, trainer, a certified mindset coach, and I consider myself a Bahamian ambassador, starting as early as 14 years of age as Hal Jackson's Miss Talented Teen Bahamas, representing our country internationally, and also as Miss Black Teenage World Bahamas. So let's dive into it. What does it mean to be a strong Bahamian woman? Strength manifests in various forms, from unwavering resilience in the face of adversity. It could be compassion. It could be leadership. It could be standing for what you believe. It could be holding things together. Strength encompasses determination and the ability to overcome challenges, but with grace and with courage. A strong Bahamian woman is not only able to navigate adversity, but also uplifts and empowers those around her, even as she navigates. A strong Bahamian woman possesses an unwavering spirit that allows her to overcome challenges and break barriers and achieve her goals. But she does all of this while inspiring others and nurturing others and taking others along with her along the way. That could be standing on her beliefs. That could be her maintaining her integrity. That could be her refusing to take no for an answer. But she is a positive impact on her children, her family, her community, and at large, this nation. A strong Bahamian woman embodies the essence of fortitude and empowerment. I want to compare her today to a coral reef, right? Because this is all about us, the Bahamian thing. You know, we love those uniquely Bahamian facets and features that are us. So let's compare her strength to that of a coral reef. A coral reef provides protection and it sustains marine life, right? So a strong woman, a strong Bahamian woman creates a nurturing and a supportive environment for family, for community. She fosters growth and resilience. She serves as a pillar of strength and stability amidst life's currents. That's our strong Bahamian woman. Let's also compare her to the royal poinciana tree. And I love the brilliant bright colors of a poinciana tree. But just like that, she is majestic. She's outstanding. She blooms vibrantly. Oh my goodness. Even when I think of that, I think of Dame Marguerite Pindling. She stands out. Even in the harshest of conditions, this strong Bahamian woman radiates beauty and resilience. You know, she flourishes. She thrives. She spreads joy. She's uplifting, she brings positivity, and that I can spirit. The last one I want to highlight as we just have concepts and symbolisms of what is a strong Bahamian woman. Let's think of the Bahamian pine. Like the resilient Bahamian pine tree, it withstands hurricanes and storms of life. We all of us will face them, whether they are in our health, whether they are in our marriage, in our family life, whether they are the limiting beliefs of people around us. We face storms. But like the strong Bahamian pine, the strong Bahamian woman perseveres through the challenges with courage and determination. She may bend, but she doesn't break. And she emerges stronger and more resilient with each passing trial. That's our strong Bahamian woman. You know, Bahamian women are a force of nature. They embody a grace. They embody compassion and strength, a sense of morality, character. They are strong because they recognize that they don't come necessarily from the advantage of large countries that physically are large and have the asset and access of things that make life that much easier. So this Bahamian woman, she knows how to break barriers. She's a nurturer. She's a leader. She's a trailblazer. She's a strong woman, whether she's in the boardroom or the classroom, and whether she's in the home, because we know, especially historically, Bahamian women in the home, they taught us so many fundamentals of survival, of thriving, of surviving. These women, whether they are now in the halls of government, these Bahamian women are women of influence. They leave indelible marks on the community, and they are shaping us, their stories, their present stories, as they are creating history today. They are shaping us. They are shaping this nation. Now, this episode 2 teaser is still about recognizing Women's History Month. And of course, that's the time that globally, worldwide, we celebrate and honor the struggles and the triumphs of women, all right, as they strive for equality and justice and a better world for all. And we found it necessary to honor 10 Bahamian women. There are so many, of course, but we are honoring 10 Bahamian women who have played those pivotal roles in shaping our nation's history, culture, and our identity. So we highlighted the first 5 in episode 1, and we are about to highlight our next 5 distinguished women. But first, it's time to test your knowledge of the Bahamas. Let's start off by giving you the answer for episode's 1 trivia challenge. The question was, the Bahamas is home to the world's deepest known underwater sinkhole, known as Dane's Blue Hole. Now, the question was, how deep does that blue hole plunge? Was it 360 feet, 160 feet, 660 feet, or 560 feet? And for those of you who visited our Facebook page and dropped your answer there, the answer correct is 660 feet. Amazing, right? All right. Now, are you ready for episodes 2 fun trivia? The question is, what is the new name of the Oaksfield Primary School, and when was the primary school renamed? All right. When you guess, or if you do know the answer, of course, you know you can participate and impart your wealth of knowledge on our Strong Bahamian Woman podcast Facebook page under the post called Episode 2 Teaser. All right. Or you can find it on Facebook at Strong Baha Woman Podcast. And we would love to give all of you who get the answer correct a shout out on our next episode. All right, let's dive into it. Our first 5 highlighted distinguished women were Dame Ivy Dumont, Lynn Holowesco, Mary Ingram, Dame Doris Johnson, and the Reverend Dr. Angela Palacios. Okay, so now as we continue to highlight 5 more of our outstanding Bahamian women who have made significant contribution to our society, I will highlight number 6, Georgiana Simonet. Georgiana Kathleen Simonet. She was a Bahamian suffragist, and she was the founding chairwoman of the women's branch of the Progressive Liberal Party and the founding member of the women's suffrage movement in 2012. The source of that information is Wikipedia. The 7th outstanding Bahamian woman we shall recognize is Janet Bostwick. Janet Bostwick made history as the first female member of parliament in the Bahamas, breaking barriers and paving the way for future generations of women in politics. Throughout her distinguished career, she championed causes related to women's rights, education, and social justice, earning widespread respect for her integrity, her leadership, and her commitment to public service. Her advice emphasized the importance of staying true to one's principles, building coalitions, and never shying away from challenges. The source of that information is the Nassau Guardian. Number 8, we celebrate Miss Pearl Macmillan. Miss Pearl Macmillan was a pioneering straw vendor and a manufacturer of straw. She was an entrepreneur. She was committed to her Christian faith. She was known as a wise counselor, one who would speak up to the authorities on behalf of the straw market vendors and the improvements that were needed at the Bahamian straw market. That information is from BahamasUncensored.com. The ninth woman of honor we will recognize is Dame Marguerite Pindling. Dame Marguerite Pindling, the widow of Sir Lyndon Pindling, the first Prime Minister of the Bahamas, is a respected figure in Bahamian society. She is known for her philanthropy and dedication to social causes. A former Governor General of the Bahamas, she championed initiatives to support women, children, and the elderly, advocating their rights and well-being. Dame Marguerite values of compassion, generosity, and humility endeared her to the Bahamian people, earning her widespread admiration and respect. Her advice emphasized the importance of giving back to the community, fostering unity, and nurturing future leaders. The source of that information is Bahamas Information Services. Now, I would like to add that in my course of work in media, I had opportunity to sit, talk, and become acquainted, to observe this woman of elegance, this distinguished woman. And of all the things that I would have heard over the years and observed through the news and the hearsays, to be able to sit in the room and watch this woman deliver her speech, to be able to communicate with her about growing up in Andros, about her past as a photographer, and understanding that there is so much more depth and facets to this amazing woman. I was amazed by her. Even the stories about her clothing, there was a history to it, and how she preserved it, and the moments that were attached to them was an amazing experience. But what captured me more than anything was the way she was anchored in her faith, her spirituality. When she would speak, when she would travel the islands and she would call the elderly together and she would meet with them, and the way she would touch their hands as she spoke, and always giving honor to God. Deeply, deeply spiritual. Quite an amazing woman. And I was definitely inspired by her presence. Let's move on to number 10. Now, last week in episode number 1, I gave you a challenge. Could you guess who our 10th person would come in? We mentioned that this person has history in the area of sports and she had something to do with national security. Did you get it? Did you mention your answer on our Facebook page? Well, just in case you didn't figure it out, the answer is none other than number 10, the Right Honorable Dr. Cynthia Mother Pratt. Dr. Cynthia Mother Pratt, our present Governor General of the Bahamas. The Right Honorable Dr. Cynthia Pratt grew up in the inner city and embodies the character of a humble servant who believes in giving back. She became the first woman to serve as Deputy Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and elected as Deputy Leader for the Progressive Liberal Party. Prior to entering politics, she worked as a healthcare professional, as an educator, she was a world-class athlete, and she is an author. Along her journey, she has affectionately been given the name Mother Pratt by Bahamians, who she has supported in some way or another. Mother Cynthia Pratt, a shining example of spirituality and faith, rising to power, yet she is more focused on impact than notoriety. She has authored a book, her story, in her new memoir, From the Pit to the Palace. I encourage you to get a hold of that book as we look forward to sharing that story of the extraordinary life of none other than Mother Cynthia Pratt. Now, as we close this episode 2 teaser of the Strong Bahamian Woman podcast, we invite you to share this episode and help us to grow and make more room, make space for these conversations. Come on, let's get together. Let's give, let's share, let's glean, let's celebrate, let's discuss, let's reveal, let's educate and be educated, let's inform. Let us together inspire. You can join us for the bi-weekly release of the Strong Bahamian Woman podcast on Thursdays. We will continue to uncover the untold stories of women who have shaped history and inspired change and celebrate that intersection of strength and Bahamian identity and womanhood, along with its challenges, showcasing the remarkable stories of Bahamian women who exemplify these qualities, who embrace strength, grace, heritage, love, power. We're going to be highlighting it all. We want to talk about their methods, their strategies. What are the principles that they stand by? What are the keys that have brought them through? And now I just want to thank you for tuning in today and sharing the podcast. I'm your lead host here at the Strong Bahamian Woman podcast, Sonovia D. Williams. Until the next time. Get ready. It's coming your way. The home of the Strong Bahamian Woman podcast. Bahawomen.com is coming. Contact us today to advertise your business, your service, or your event on the Strong Bahamian Woman podcast or on Bahawomen.com. To be a patron sponsor of the show, please contact us to suggest strong Bahamian women that you would like to see highlighted or interviewed in future episodes. Contact us at contact@bahawomen.com.